So I started my fitness journey in December 2019, and unlike most people, I actually stuck to the journey. Not only did I stick to it, but I kept going consistently 5 to 6 times a week to the gym for 3 years straight. And the truth is, it wasn't some cute shit that kept me going, it wasn't some fairy tale of like, oh, but I just did it for myself, I did it to be healthier. No. What kept me going so often, for 3 years, for 3 entire years, was a hell of a lot darker and deeper than you might expect. And it's most likely the single reason behind every single successful body transformation you see either online or in your family or your friends or everybody else around you. A few weeks ago I was doing some garden work, cutting wood, and I was thinking about my entire self-improvement journey, so the entire 4 years. And I was thinking about what exactly made me go so hard from the start, what exactly pushed me to go and train almost daily. What exactly pushed me to quit junk food for good? Because if you knew my starting point, you would think, holy shit, this guy went from 0 to 100 in just 4 years. I was severely addicted to video games, junk food, porn, everything, bro. I had no desire at all to train. My sleep schedule was fucked. I was going to bed at 2 a.m., waking up at 7 a.m. I had the worst fucking lifestyle ever. I was eating junk food every single day, cookies, fucking bullshit biscuits. I was doing everything fucking bad. And then for some reason I just turned my life around. A few months later, I was going to bed at 9 p.m, waking up at 5:30. My diet was super clean. I was training almost every single day. I was doing a lot of good habits, and just in a few months I literally went from the worst lifestyle possible to this. That's what got me thinking, like, what the fuck happened? What exactly made me click? What exactly happened there? And so I was doing this garden work and I realized something. It just clicked in my mind and I was like, fuck me, bro, fuck. All it came down to was one single word: pain. It was all about pain. And that's when I have to talk about something that I came up with, which I called the pain equation. So here's what you need to understand. People avoid pain. Our body doesn't like to have pain. It doesn't like to feel pain. Pain can come in two forms. It can be physical pain and it can be psychological pain. Physical pain is joint pain, muscle pain, stomach pain, all these things, right? Psychological pain is feeling anger, boredom, guilt, shame, fear, dissatisfaction. It can be all of these things, right? That is psychological pain. Most of the time we don't have much physical pain, but we have a lot more psychological pain. We feel boredom, we feel fear, we feel shame, we feel all of these things. That is psychological pain. And there's two ways you can deal with psychological pain. You can either use it as fuel or you can numb it. And most people will numb it. Most people deal with pain by finding something to alleviate it. So for example, if I feel lonely and I feel as if I have a lack of intimacy in my life, I'll go to porn. It is something painful in my life, and you can either use it as fuel to go out in the world and find a partner, or you can go to porn. When people feel stressed out, they go to alcohol, they go to cigarettes, they smoke, they find something to cope with the pain. Addictions are coping mechanisms for people. Most of the time, people numb the pain. The better way is to use it as fuel, and that's when I want to come back to the pain equation. Now, what exactly is this equation that I found? So here's what it looks like. On the left side, you have psychological pain plus intrinsic or external motivation, and on the right side, you have physical pain and psychological pain. Now, here's the thing. If the left side of the equation is higher than the right side, then you'll stick to the gym. It is as simple as that. So we have to find a way to increase the left side and basically decrease the right side. So we have to look at every individual variable now. So the first part of the equation is psychological pain. This is all the negative emotions you feel about yourself. It's how you look, the clothes you don't fit anymore, or the opposite, the clothes that you can't fill because you're so skinny. It is the anger, dissatisfaction, shame that you feel about how you look. Now the truth is, we don't want to numb this pain, we want to find ways to actually increase it. Again, we want the left side to be as high as possible, that is the whole point of it, and the right side as low as possible. So how exactly do we increase this? You can look at yourself in the mirror every single morning, step on the weight scale on purpose every single morning, keep habit trackers around so that every time you miss a habit, you feel bad about not scratching the box. Hire a personal trainer so that every time you miss a workout, you disappoint another human being and make them lose their time. You could even have a deal to work out with someone, and every time you miss a workout, you owe them money. These are all the ways you can increase that psychological pain you feel, and it is fucking powerful, trust me. When I thought about what kept me going for so long, like I said, it wasn't this cute shit of like, oh, I'm just doing it to be healthier. No. The truth is, when I looked in the mirror, I felt so much shame. I felt so disappointed with what I saw that I had no other choice than to change it. I had no other fucking choice. That was like the biggest motivator for me to change my situation. Seeing this every single day in the mirror was like, it was fucking pain. It was just fucking pain. That's what it is. That's what it was. I felt terrible about what I saw in the mirror every single day, and that's why I tried so hard to fucking change it. These days you have fucking garbage movements like fat acceptance that try to alleviate the pain by telling you that being fat is okay and it looks good and it's fine. When the truth is, it's not fucking fine to be fat. It's not fucking healthy. It's not any of these things. They're acting like this angel that is there to make you feel better about yourself. But the truth is, in my opinion, they're worse than I am and worse than I'll ever be. Because they're stripping away this infinite source of energy that you have. This infinite source of motivation that you have. If you don't feel pain about your current situation, if you're just trying to convince yourself, if you're trying to convince your brain that, you know what, I look good, I'm healthy, you're not gonna have the same level of aggression and motivation towards your goals. You're not gonna have that same level of drive. And that's the problem with it. I'm here telling you to increase the pain that you feel. I'm here to telling you, okay, feel more bad about yourself, because that's actually gonna fucking push you. That is actually gonna fucking take you towards your goals and just get to them. That is gonna push you so fucking hard, with so much drive, with so much zest. It's fucking powerful. And the fat acceptance is evil to take that away from you. They are fucking evil to take that away from you. What they're basically doing is making this a two-step process. You feel bad about yourself, and then you have to convince yourself that you feel good about yourself. But deep inside you know that you still feel bad about yourself. You know it's not true. You know you're still a loser deep inside. Otherwise, what I'm telling you to do is, you feel terrible about yourself, you work hard on it, then you feel good about yourself. That is a three-step process, and it works a hell of a lot better than the other process. See, you have to understand that fat acceptance movement and I have the exact same goal. We want you to feel good about yourself. It's just, we have a different approach to it. I tell you to work hard on yourself, then you deserve to feel good about yourself. They're telling you to convince yourself that you feel good about yourself without actually feeling it, without actually doing anything. And that's the fucked up part. I give you the hard way, but a much, much, much better way. Now that I've gone onto this rant, let's talk about the second part of the equation, which is intrinsic motivation or external motivation, basically. Now, the psychological pain is basically something we want to run away from. This is our motivation to run away from something. Intrinsic motivation or external motivation is basically something we want to run towards. So that can be, for example, a goal that you have, a vision for the future. This is one way to increase that motivation that you have, that drive that you have to go towards something. It is to have a very, very strong goal or a very, very strong vision for yourself in the future. Now, a vision is basically a snapshot of the future of yourself. It is a very short-lived image of the future that you imagine. It is how you look, how you'll act, what kind of person you'll be, what your life will look like. For example, I'll show you my own. I have this big alchemy of self. I don't know if you can see, but basically it's 17 pages of just you got a bunch of images, bunch of this, bunch of that. I'll make a video on it one day. And basically, at the end, you want to have a whole text of basically a manifesto. You want to describe your life in as much detail as humanly possible. You want to have this vision and create this vision for yourself with an insane level of precision. You want to imagine your future with such fucking clarity, with such precision that it's almost impossible to not achieve. Basically, that is going to be your goal. that is going to be the goal that you want to achieve, the things that you want to run towards. That is the vision, that is the goal. And when you have a goal that you love almost as much as your fucking child, your behavior will change as a byproduct of it. A goal that you love is a very, very, very big motivator, trust me. Now the second thing that is very, very motivating is having a sort of purpose. Some purpose in your life, something that is bigger than yourself. You have to find something that means a lot to you. And now, how do you find your purpose is the one question that everybody seems to ask. And the truth is, you have to look deep inside. You have to find something from your past that means a lot to you, and that will be the reason for you to fight so hard for your physique or for your body goals. And I can do that for you. I cannot do that for you. That has to be a full-on personal thing. You have to journal about it. You have to keep everything quiet, shut out everything, and just think about the one thing that actually matters to you. You have to find that one thing that is just so deep and so personal for you specifically, that it is the reason why you're fucking alive. Or at least it is a very big reason in your life and a very big why in your life at this very moment. One example would be, imagine you're a very sick, overweight father. Imagine you're that. And every single day you look at your children and you're like, fuck, in 10 years I won't be there for them. It could be something else, as you want love into your life and you can't seem to attract any women. And so therefore you go through this entire journey of body transformation, keeping this reason in mind, keeping this thing of like, oh shit, at the end of this journey, I'll have love and I won't be alone anymore. And so it might be a fucked up reason. You might think that, oh, this is fucked. But the truth is, if it can motivate you to go towards your goal, go for it. So now that we've covered the first part of the equation, we can now start with the second part, which is physical pain and psychological pain. Now, physical pain is quite obvious. It's hitting the gym hard and feeling the pain in your muscle. It can be having to go outside to the gym when it's raining and when it's cold. It could be not wanting to get out of your cozy warm bed. These are all physical factors and physical pains that you will have to go through. And so this is again something we want to lower as much as possible. So like I said, the left side of the equation is something we want to increase as much as possible, and the right side is something we want to decrease as much as possible. And so this is the first part of the equation, of the right hand equation, which is physical pain, and this is the one we want to decrease as much as possible. And so how do you decrease it? Train less hard from the start, make smaller incremental changes to your journey and to your self-improvement. You could, again, train less intensely. If you have to go to the gym and it's cold and it's raining, take the car or the bus to avoid you to feel too much pain on the way there. It could be any of these things basically. Physical pain is very, very easy to lower. It's very easy to lower and it's very easy to change. Psychological pain, you have all these tactics, but it's harder. It's harder to look at yourself in the mirror and feel worse about yourself. And now the last part of the right side is psychological pain. Now, we had psychological pain on the left side, and now we have psychological pain on the right side as well. But it's a different kind of psychological pain. For example, if you want to change your diet, you won't be able to eat the same amount of foods and the same kinds of foods, right? So you will have to use willpower, you will have to use discipline and mental energy to resist those things. You will have to avoid a lot of the bad stuff, and that can be hard psychologically for people. Now again, this is something you can lower, this is something you can decrease. And how do we decrease that? Well, for example, if there's bad food in the house, it's gonna be a lot harder to resist it. If everything is away and everything's out of sight, then it's gonna be a lot easier mentally to resist it. One of the biggest things you can do to help you resist and quit bad habits and quit bad foods is to change the environment that you're in. Like I said, if you don't have any bad foods in the house, or at least they're not visible to you, it will be a lot less in your mind. Like they say, out of sight, out of mind. And so if you remove a lot of things from your environment and the bad shit from your environment, and you even change your environment to change the perception of your brain, it's gonna be a hell of a lot easier to resist those bad things and resist those bad habits. I'll actually give you an example from my own life. When I'm at home, everything is fine. Everything runs smoothly. I do all the good habits. I avoid almost all the bad habits. But as soon as I go on vacation, it's like it's a completely different environment and my brain is just not used to it. It's not the same environment, and so I don't have the same habits. And so I start eating junk food, I start doing shit, I stop training, I stop meditating, I stop doing all the good habits, And I basically started doing a lot of the bad habits just because it's a different environment. And as soon as I come back home, it's like everything just clicks back in. Everything is just like meditate, train, diet, perfect diet, sleep schedule. Everything is on point when I get back home. But as soon as I go on vacation and as soon as I go somewhere else, everything just falls apart. So it's something you can do in your own house, which is you might not want to change places, but something you can do is, for example, rearrange the furniture. You can rearrange where the food is, where all these things are. That is a change of environment. And we know environment is very, very powerful. So now let's recap everything. The pain equation is psychological pain plus intrinsic or external motivation. And on the other side, it's physical pain plus psychological pain. If the left side is higher than the right side, you will stick to the journey. If the right side is higher than the left side, then you won't stick to the journey. It's as simple as that. So again, how do you increase the psychological pain on the left side? Hire personal trainers, step on the weight scale, look yourself in the mirror, have a deal where you have to pay money. All of these things increase the psychological pain. Intrinsic or external motivation can be increased by having a very big goal that you love and having a purpose that is bigger than you. And now on the other side, how do we decrease the right side as much as possible? We can decrease the physical pain by training less hard and doing it in more incremental changes and improving very, very slowly by slowly so that your body gets used to it. And we can avoid other physical pains by wearing a jacket when it's cold outside or taking the car when it rains and all of these little things. And now lastly, the psychological pain of the right side, you can change that by changing your environment and removing all the bad stuff out of your house. You can create a routine where basically all the good habits are put into one section of the day. These are all things you can use to decrease the right side. And now I have to tell you something that explains why some people just get completely addicted to the gym when they feel like they can't live without it. Why do some people just go to the gym with a big smile on their face, just thinking, shit, I wanna go every single day for the entire fucking year? All they do is the gym, they fucking love it, they're addicted to it. Why do some people have that? Well, the reason is because after a while, as you progress in your journey, the intrinsic motivation is going to start to increase. It's going to start to get boosted. And why does it get boosted? Because when you exercise, afterwards you feel very, very good. You feel very good after exercise. After a while, if you trained enough, you will start to expect to feel good afterwards. You will know by default that if you train hard, you'll feel fucking good afterwards. And it starts to become this thing of every time you go train, you just start to associate it with feeling good and feeling these endorphins kick in. The second thing is that also during the workout, you'll feel the pump. And again, it increases this intrinsic motivation to go to the gym because you know you'll feel good at 2 times. During the workout when you get a pump, and after a workout because you just feel good. And that is why people just get completely addicted to it. They just love feeling good. And they know they're gonna feel good after a workout. And if there's psychological pain, so if they're still dealing with body dysmorphia, if they're still dealing with all these mental issues, basically what it's basically an issue, right? You feel bad about yourself. If they still feel bad about themselves because they keep seeing people on social media that look a lot better than them, they keep comparing themselves to them, they're still gonna feel bad about themselves. And so if you have those things at max level, the intrinsic motivation to go to the gym and the psychological pain that comes with it, that's when you become addicted. That is when you can't live without the fucking gym. And that was me for the first years. At first, I was very, very motivated by the psychological pain. And when the intrinsic motivation came into play, that's when I truly became addicted. That's when I couldn't stop. And that's when it actually became fun, because the gym is painful in the first few weeks or the first few months. After this, it just becomes fun. And so when I say, oh, I've been super consistent in the first 3 years of my fitness journey, the truth is, it was just hard in the first 3 months. And then it just became easy all the time. And so for 2 years and 9 months, it was just fun. When you can stick for the first few months to this journey, when you can stick to even the first few weeks, then it just becomes easy. The intrinsic motivation is gonna go up like crazy after a while, because you will feel good and you will still have a goal and you will still have a vision for yourself. And so you'll still feel all these physical pains and the resisting bad foods and stuff, but it's gonna be so low, and the left side is gonna be so high that you will go to the gym no matter what. And that, my friend, is how I got so consistent for the first 3 years of my fitness journey.